Do you remember your mother? Like, do you remember any aspects of how her childhood was or anything she might have went through?
Aspect of my childhood, which what?
Do you remember your mother talking about her childhood?
Oh yeah, oh yes, most definitely. And my grandmother. So yeah, my grandmother, yeah, and my grandmother talked about her father as he passed down information, because he was about 5 or 6 years old when slavery ended. So, yeah, but I do remember certain aspects of their talking about their history, their family history. But that was only on my maternal side of the family. Paternal side of the family, they talked about it, but that side of the family had very little information about descendants of from slavery, because they talk more about themselves. Well, I won't say themselves, but yeah, they didn't have a lot of information.
Like, kind of structured her way of parenting you?
Did it what did?
Structured the way she like parented you, or like gave you advice about certain situations?
Was because of certain situations, or in my mother's upbringing, she attempted to protect her children. We did a lot of reading. In our household, we had, I think we subscribed to like 5 magazines, 3 newspapers a day. My mother and my grandmother were teachers, so they were determined that we were going to get some kind of education outside of Clark County education. And yes, I remember specifically with my mother, I guess when I was about 10 or 12, traveling on a bus to visit my paternal grandparents. And the bus stopped in Stanton, Virginia. And we get off and get sandwiches. And to me, that just sounds so backwards now. We were traveling from Winchester, Virginia to Charlottesville. And that was a long trip. Now today it's something we do, and you know, I can drive there in an hour and 15 minutes on. Nevertheless, the bus stopped, and my mother got off to get sandwiches for us and for my sister and me. We were sitting on together on the bus when the bus driver asked, some white folks got on the bus, and the bus driver asked us to move back to some seats further back in the bus. So when my mother came back on the bus with the sandwiches for us, she was extremely upset. And she went toe to toe with the bus driver. And the bus driver threatened to get the police. That did not bother my mother at all. It bothered me. I thought she was going. I had read in the newspapers, in the black newspapers, about lynchings, you know. So I thought they were going to arrest her and lynch her. But that was the thought process of a kid. And of course, I guess my mother settled on us sitting in the seats that the bus driver insisted that we sit in. But I had the conversation with my mother, telling her I was so frightened for her because I thought when we got to Charlottesville, they were going to pull all of us off the bus and they were going to lynch her. And she said, never think like that. Never. Whenever you see, I want you to always remember, whenever you see something wrong happening, always speak up. And that has been with me since I was 10 or 12 years old. That incident. And I try to practice that. I try when I see something negative happening to individuals. And not always it's been focused on the African Americans, but it can also happen. I've also spoken up when I've seen negative behavior toward Caucasians too. As I was mentoring students in my retirement, and I live in West Virginia, I mentored students, and in the mentoring program, what we basically did was to assist students and help them prepare for college applications, prep them for the ACTs and the SAT tests, and we would ask the guidance counselors and the department heads to recommend students to be a part of the program. These were students who were low socioeconomic level. And one of the students who were recommended was a young Caucasian boy, brilliant,